everyone, welcome back to another Mattel Jurassic World Dominion review. Today we're taking a look at the new extreme damage Quilmesaurus. Under the Mattel Jurassic umbrella, I don't think there's any subline more frustrating to collect than the extreme damage / battle damage line. It's been an absolute headache for years for collectors to try to get every figure in this subline, and this Quilmesaurus almost ended up being the next Gasosaurus. A lot of people didn't think this was going to show up in the US, including myself. But thankfully, over a week ago, they started showing up in Walmarts in the US. Yes, Extreme Damage line is exclusive to Walmart if you're in the US. So yeah, really cool that they're showing up in the US. As far as how many are going to show up, time will tell on that. But as you can see, this is the Japanese version. I'd like to give my buddy Scott a huge shout out for ordering a few of these from Amazon Japan. And sending one out to me. Huge thank you. Yes, I paid a little bit more than U.S. retail, but the amount of money I'm going to save in gas from running to Walmart looking for this on shelves is going to easily make up the difference. And another thing that concerns me about the Quilmesaurus, this is Wave 2 of the Extreme Damage line. On top of that, Wave 3 is also showing up in the U.S., so who knows, like I said, how many of these are actually going to end up on U.S. soil. So I'm really happy to scratch this off my list. I like to collect every new species there is in this line, except the Giganotosaurus. But yeah, anyways, really happy to have this in my hand. Scott, you're the best. Thank you. You know, honestly, if it wasn't for him, he got me back into the Jurassic line years ago. I don't think this channel would exist without him. Now let's go over the packaging really quick before we crack this obscure species open. Comes in the extreme damage packaging, which is very similar to the Savage Strike packaging. Get the T-Rex right here. Nice sunset background. It's actually a nighttime sky on the mainline Dominion figures. Dominion logo down here. Spinning it around. Get a picture of the Quilmesaurus with how the extreme damage action works. And then down here we have other pictures available of the other species available in Wave 2. We have another appearance of the raptor. Actually, really enjoy that raptor way more than I should. And we have an extreme damage Pyroraptor. Definitely not going to pick that one up. I have one in my collection. That's all I need. There's only one in the movie. I do not need multiple of that ugly looking species. So enough about the packaging. Let's crack this thing open and take a closer look. And let's start with this 360-degree view of the Quilmesaurus. I have to say, liking this figure way more than I thought I would. I was just excited to get it because it's a new species, but having it in hand, it's kind of a cute, adorable looking figure. I love the short, stout Abelisaur style head. The scale detail is really well done on this figure. Love how all the osteoderms are arranged in nice rows. It reminds me of old school like Carnotaurus reconstructions. It has a nice natural paint scheme. Light green for the body, dark green for the top of the body, and that bright red of that lower jaw just adds a nice contrast to all that green. So yeah, all around a really nicely done figure. I'm actually quite surprised by how much I like it. Now, Quilmesaurus is a type of Abelisaur. Think of something similar to Carnotaurus. It's not known from a lot of skeleton material. It's just really known for a couple leg bones. So if more material is eventually found, you know, those leg bones have no, you know, distinguishable diagnostic traits to make it a distinguishable separate species from all the other Abelisaurs. So it may end up just being a dubious species, but for now it is a valid species. So yeah, Mattel really reaching at the bottom of the barrel, just pulling out all these obscure species left and right. That's one of my favorite things I like that Mattel is doing with the Jurassic line. Just their willingness to introduce obscure species. Like even like the main dinosaur companies are kind of cautious to go that deep into the barrel and do species like this. So yeah, credit where credit is due. Mattel just like yanking obscure species out of the bucket, making me, you know, Wikipedia these things to like figure out what they are. That one that's come out in Wave 3, what is it? Genosect, whatever the hell it is. Yeah, never heard of that dinosaur in my entire life. So yeah, credit to Mattel for really testing my dinosaur knowledge. Now time for some quick measurements. This figure is 8 inches long from the tip of the tail to the tip of the snout, or 20.3 centimeters. 3 inches tall to the top of the head, or 7.6 centimeters. So Quilmesaurus is estimated to be around 17 feet long, or 5.3 meters. So I'll put this figure somewhere in the 125 scale range. And now let's zoom and take a look at some of the finer details on this figure, starting with the head. You know, they got the general shape of an abelisaur head. It has that short, compact, like, you know, pit bully looking face. So yeah, very nicely done head. I love how the teeth aren't oversized and cartoony looking. Very, very proportionate. Very rare to see this on a Mattel figure. So yeah, that's another point in this figure favor for having nice proportionate teeth. You can see it's a little bit shrink wrap. Like I said, we're not going to talk about accuracy on here. It's just a really nicely done dinosaur figure by Mattel. The eye is painted yellow with a painted on black pupil. Another point for Mattel. Love the bright red for the bottom jaw. It's a nice contrast in color. You can see some nice fine scale detail all over that large lower jaw, and you can see some large osteoderms along the bottom of the lower jaw. Looking at it from the top, some more nice fine scale detail, a lot of nice scale variation all over the top of the skull. And on the underside, you can see the roof of the mouth is just the base green. Inside the mouth, you do have a nicely textured tongue with glossy coat over it. Same thing for the gum tissue on the side. My camera's just being a fussy little bitch right now. Going down to the neck, you have all these nice rows of osteoderms that go all the way down to the body, all the way down to the tip of the tail. Very well done. It adds a nice like pattern on the back of this figure. Very well done. Like I said, it reminds me of like an old school Carnotaurus reconstruction. I think the newer reconstruction of the osteoderms weren't arranged in like perfect rows like this. They're a little bit more randomized, but yeah, very, very nicely done. Whoever designed this figure was definitely paying attention. Going down to the arms, I don't know why Mattel insists on giving abelisaurs elbows. They didn't give elbows on their Carnotaurus figures. I don't know why they're doing with these other random species. So yeah, too big of the arms are too big on this figure, but yeah, still, you know, nicely sculpted. You have some nice fine scale detail on the side of the body. Going down to the legs, more fine scale detail. Some wrinkles around the knee, and going down to the very, very oversized feet. On a figure this small, the feet do not need to be this big. Toe claws not painted, pretty typical of every mainline figure from Mattel recently. You got some more of that dark green just blending into that light green of the base plastic. So yeah, a really, really nicely done figure. I am quite pleased with it. I like it much better than I thought I would. Even on the other side, you got some nice folds and wrinkles as I smack my camera on the bottom of the figure. And let's check out the DNA code before we move on to the extreme damage action feature. Let's pop that back in. So to activate the extreme damage feature on this, just gonna push right here on the back, and a little tumble will activate, and you'll see it'll reveal all the blood and guts inside. And you hit it again, you got a nice clean wound. I do like it. You know, these little cuts in here, yeah, they're kind of distracting. I do miss the original battle damage figure with the little door that flipped up and the little notch, but you know, it's really not that bad. It's not like the old Kenner figures where if you lose the dino damage piece, like you're never ever gonna replace it. So yeah, very, very cool, easy to use action feature. And now for articulation, the head can move up and down. It is on a hinge joint. I really wish it was on a ball joint. You do get some rotation, but because it's on a hinge, you don't get any good side-to-side movement. Mouth can open up all the way, close completely flush. And let's take a look at the arms. Arms can move forwards and backwards. They're on a hinge, allows you to swing up. Back legs can move backwards and forwards. They're really, really tight on mine. And you have no hip pivot on some figures this size, and the tail completely useless. Tail rotation, gonna say it every single time, need hinge joints on the tails for better articulation. Moving on with comparisons, here it is with the Hammock Collection. Ian Malcolm. And let's compare it to some of the smaller dinosaurs in the line. Here it is with the Pyroraptor and the extreme damage Velociraptor. Like I said earlier, the extreme damage Velociraptor is also making an appearance in Wave 2. And here it is with the Gasosaurus. And like I said, this figure almost turned into the same situation as this right here. New species in a retailer exclusive line that never released in the US. What a pain in the ass it was for me to get my hands on this. My knees and lips still hurt to this day for the hoops I had to jump through to get this figure in my hands. Thankfully, you know, at the time of this review last week, this figure actually did start showing up in the U.S. Hopefully a large quantity makes it so everyone can get their hands on it, because these retailer exclusives seriously drive me freaking crazy. I'm glad we're not in the situation we were a couple years ago, like it was with the Gasosaurus. And let's do a couple mid-sized dinosaurs. Here it is with the Stegosaurus and the Raw Striker Megaraptor. And here it is with the other Abelisaur species Mattel has cranked out over the years. Yeah, Mattel, they really Abelisaurs. Here is Majungasaurus, Scorpio Venator, Rajasaurus, Rugops, and Carnotaurus. So yeah, pretty cool to have all these species together. Seriously, F this Rugops figure. I hate this thing. Definitely one of my least favorite figures from Dominion. Definitely like in my top like 5 from the whole entire line. You know, since this piece of crap has fallen over, I've been toying around with this idea. You know, at the end of the year, I always do like the top 5 best Mattel figures. Really thinking about doing a Hall of Shame video this year with the worst figures from this year, because I have to say Dominion, I feel like there was a lot of duds in this line compared to previous years. But if I do that Hall of Shame video, I would have to get a Giganotosaurus, and I really don't want to do that. Anyone want to send me one or loan me one? Just kidding. But yeah, that's something I'm toying around with, because, like I said, a lot of turds in the punch bowl this year from Mattel. And lastly, here it is with the Hammock Collection T-Rex. And if the rumors are true, it looks like we're getting some like non-canon dinosaurs in the Hammock Collection in the near future. So if that's the case, man, the main line is like completely obsolete to me now. If the Hammock Collection is going to start jumping into, you know, non-canon dinosaurs this early, there's really no reason for me to collect the main line. We'll know in a few months if those rumors are true, but yeah, something to keep an eye on. So final thoughts on the extreme damage Quilmesaurus. Really enjoying this figure. I'm liking it a lot better than I thought I would. It's just adorable. That's the best word I can come up with to describe it. Has really nice sculpted details on it. Just love the arrangement of the osteoderms throughout the body. Nice natural color scheme. It just doesn't look like someone just painted this figure with the lights off, which is kind of the case for a lot of the newer Mattel Jurassic World figures, especially the ones coming out in Dino Tracker. I just don't know why they can't just put cohesive color schemes on their figures. They're just too random for me, and it's really turning me off to the main line. But this one is a breath of fresh air, a nice, natural, well thought out paint scheme. You know, it's not a lot of paint apps. Usually I get on Mattel for having barely any paint apps on here, but just the way it's planned out, it just looks really nice. So, like I said at the beginning of the review, my buddy Scott got me this from Amazon Japan. It is showing up right now at Walmart's in the US. Unfortunately, it's not listed online yet. If that ever happens, I'll leave a link down below in the description. So if you're trying to track this figure down, go hit your local Walmarts. I wish you the best of luck. If you don't feel like not doing that, you can order this from Amazon Japan. It's probably going to cost you, I think, maybe around 20 bucks, 20 something bucks or so to get it shipped to you, which isn't that bad of a deal. These retail for almost $13 now in store, and just the amount of gas you're going to save just order it that way. I'll leave the link to Amazon Japan down in the description for those of you that just want to go that route. So that will do it for the review. I'm on the hunt for the Wave 3 Extreme Damage figures. When I pick up that stupid dinosaur, I'll learn how to pronounce it correctly. I have some of the new Safari figures coming in, Zool and Nano Tyrannus, you know, the figure that broke the dinosaur toy forum. I should have those in a day or two, so I'll be doing new reviews on those, so stay tuned for all that. And as always, if you're enjoying the content on this channel, show your support by hitting that subscription button just below the video. Each subscription helps out the channel tremendously and it's greatly appreciated. And I'll see you guys for the next one.